The federal government has received another batch of 198 stranded Nigerians from Sudan. Taco Airline, which brought the returnees, touched down at about 12:09 Friday afternoon. Moyo Thomas has more.
About Nigerian Americans.
In what may be the final evacuation under the mop-up exercise, 160 adults, 38 children and infants have been returned from the war-torn Sudan. This brings the total number of returned so far to about 2,858 Nigerians. The necessary checks were undertaken with temperatures of some of them higher than usual. They were immediately taken for further investigations and care. As usual, officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NCFRMI, and NIDCAM were on ground to receive them. The Director General of NEMA explains the difficulty experienced in evacuation process and assures that the 40 Nigerians remaining will be returned shortly.
These people have spent a very long time in Port Sudan, just awaiting evacuation. Getting an aircraft to just land in Port Sudan and evacuate them has been very, very difficult for us. So the 40 left, we want to ferry them because the aircraft, we have to work, the airline had to work with the military authorities to get these people out. So the easier way for us now, again, since the numbers are like 40, we'll ferry them to Jeddah and then buy tickets for them to come back home.
We intend to continue with that care. We'll provide psychosocial support for them and ensure that whatever trauma they've been through, we'll try to make it a little easier. And of course, ensure that we reintegrate them into the society using partners and government efforts to provide livelihood support when necessary, and then provide placement in schools when necessary.
The DG of NEMA also confirmed that all the returnees are already profiled and are Nigerians. They will be able to go back to their states with 100,000 naira given by the Dangote Foundation. Moyo Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.
To gather intelligence while working with allied agencies in the reviewed fight against insecurity. Chief of Army Staff Major General Taurid Lagbaja said this at the graduation ceremony of the Strategic Management Study course in Abuja. The report.
There is a new military strategy in combating the evolving security challenges in Nigeria. The Army, in partnership with other security agencies, is leading an offensive in troubled spots in the country. In sustaining the renewed offensive, the Army is upscaling its grassroots intelligence gathering and partnerships.
Especially those that live in the frontline communities where banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, and other violent crimes take place. So that receiving this information from them will give the military the leverage to act and combat the violence. Intelligence is the driver of every military operation. The military has its own sources, and these sources are far-flung sometimes, even into the rural areas. So we require the support of all.
This graduation of the Strategic Management Study course at the Army Resource Center is one of such collaborations the Army is forging with other military and paramilitary agencies.
Yes, majority are military personnel, but we want to have a change in perspective as to what they can do to make the nation better, and for us to be able to find solutions to our problem rather than waiting for people from outside. So we take them through policy, which is what government wants to do, which is a constraint. So they should understand that from the beginning. The policy of government is a constraint on them, but how will they now come up with strategy to drive the policy objectives?
Each expert brings something to the table based on his knowledge and experience. And this is exactly the same within the security sector. So the security sector is designed in such a way that no security agency can effectively and efficiently deal with security challenges without the collaboration of other members of the sector.
31 participants are graduating from the 11-month course.
We begin this morning with the report that the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has pledged to support the Independent National Electoral Commission for the safety of Nigerians ahead of the governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State. This was disclosed at a meeting in Abuja between its office and INEC to review 2023 elections. Miriam Mohammed reports.
It's 4 months to the governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. INEC has already started preparations to put all hands on deck for the exercise. The commission aims to replicate what it did in the last general elections this time. The commission asserted that Beavers recorded 98% success, but INEC faced challenges mostly having to do with violence in some parts of the country. At this meeting, the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, assures that his office will support INEC from the beginning to the end of the elections in order to stabilize the nation and make democracy permanent. He encourages the INEC chairman to do more in order to ensure the environment is conducive for the exercise.
The intention is to get ready and, with the support of the government, make sure that it's going to be exemplary elections that will signal what is going to come henceforth in Nigeria.
INEC, on its part, aims to tackle issues raised by civil society groups and the media to enhance the level of preparedness.
We should draw lessons from the challenges that occurred for improved performance, not only in the next general election, but also in the by-elections and off-cycle governorship elections, as well as other electoral activities to be held over the next 3 years.
As INEC continues to review the conduct of the last general elections, it is warning contesting parties in the 3 states not to embark on violent campaigns in order to avoid overheating the polity. Elections are scheduled to hold on Saturday, 11th November 2023.